Once upon a time, the morning sun rose slowly over the green hills, painting the sky with golden light. Birds whistled from tall palm trees, and the village began to wake with the sound of cockcrow and children laughing. In the heart of the village, a little mud house with a thatched roof stood strong. This was the home of Okoro, the hard-working farmer, and his only daughter, Arya. Arya's life began with both tears and hope. Her mother died the same day she was born. The villagers whispered sorrowfully, "Ah, how can a child enter this world and the mother leave immediately?" But her father refused to let despair swallow him. He held the tiny baby close, wiped her face and whispered, "You are my light, Arya. I will raise you with my two hands. You will be strong." From that day, father and daughter became inseparable. Arya grew up in the fields. At first, she was too small to hold the hoe, so she followed Okoro around, carrying little calabashes of water. She would sing loudly, making up songs to keep her father's heart light. "Father, the yam will grow. The corn will rise. Our farm will shine. Under the sky so wide." Okoro would laugh at her childish songs, pat her head and say, "My daughter, your voice is sweeter than the flute." By the age of 10, Arya was working like a woman. She weeded, planted, fetched firewood and cooked. She did all this without complaint. Her beauty began to glow early. Her skin was dark and smooth, her eyes sparkled like water under the sun, and her smile carried peace. The village boys noticed her. Some would pass by the farm, pretending to look for goats, just so they could greet her. Others would stand by the riverbank, waiting for the moment she came to fetch water. But Arya would only laugh at them and walk away. When she reached 21, suitors began to line up at Okoro's house. Some came with gifts of palm wine. Others came with bags of yam and kola nut. The elders of the village would whisper, "Arya is truly a treasure. Whoever marries her will find blessings." But each time, Arya shook her head gently. "Father," she would say, "I am not ready. My heart does not feel what it should feel." Okoro, though surprised, never forced her. He loved his daughter too much. But the villagers began to gossip. In the evening, when women gathered at the stream, their voices rose like drums. "Why is Arya refusing marriage? Is she waiting for a king? Beauty without a husband is wasted beauty. Maybe she has a spirit husband." They laughed, shook their heads, and carried the gossip home. Arya ignored them. Her heart longed for love that was true, not just any marriage. One bright market day, destiny brought something unexpected. The village square was full of noise. Traders shouting prices, women bargaining, children chasing one another. Arya was arranging fresh vegetables on a small wooden table. She wore a simple wrapper and her hair was tied neatly with a scarf. Her face shone even without makeup. That same day, a wealthy man named Ben entered the village. He was a real estate businessman from the city. He had come to buy land for a project. Tall, confident, and dressed in a neat white shirt, Ben carried himself with calm power. But when his eyes fell on Arya, something inside him stopped. She was not like the women he saw in the city. She was natural, graceful, and full of quiet strength. He watched as she smiled at an old woman who was too poor to pay for vegetables. Arya pressed the food into the woman's hand and said softly, "Take it, Mama. Go and cook for your children." Ben's heart melted. He asked a villager, "Who is that young woman?" The man replied, "That is Arya, daughter of Okoro. She is beautiful, hardworking, but she has refused every suitor in this village. Ben smiled quietly. Maybe she has been waiting for me. Days passed. Ben found reasons to visit the farm where Okoro and Arya worked. At first, Arya was shy around him. She had seen rich men before, proud and boastful, but Ben was different. He joined them in the field, his hands not afraid to touch the soil. He helped Okoro carry heavy baskets of cassava. He laughed freely, listened carefully, and spoke gently. Arya's heart, which had always been closed, began to open little by little. One evening, as the sun painted the sky with orange, Ben turned to her. Arya, from the first day I saw you, I knew you were different. Your kindness shines more than your beauty. Will you allow me to walk beside you in this life? Arya's heart beat fast. She lowered her eyes, shy. For the first time, she smiled at a suitor. That night, she whispered to her father, Papa, I think I have found the one. The wedding was grand. Drums echoed through the hills. Women danced with rattles on their ankles. Children clapped and sang. Elders raised their hands and blessed the union. The whole village celebrated, for Arya, their jewel, had finally found love. She followed Ben to the city, her heart full of dreams. The house was big, the cars shiny, the clothes expensive. First, life seemed like a fairy tale. Ben adored her, and Arya believed happiness had finally settled in her home. But 3 years passed, and no cry of a baby was heard. Arya's smile faded slowly. She and Ben visited hospitals, prayed in churches, and tried every medical treatment. Each time the doctor shook his head, her heart broke a little more. Ben tried to stay strong. He held her hand and said, Don't cry, my love. Children will come. I married you for who you are, not for what you can give. But not everyone thought like him. His family began to turn against Arya. One afternoon, his mother shouted, What kind of woman are you? 3 years and not even one child. Are you here to eat my son's wealth? You are a curse. His sisters joined in, mocking her. They called her barren, useless, and unworthy. Sometimes they pushed her, sometimes they tore her clothes, and sometimes they spread gossip in the neighborhood. Arya cried alone at night, her tears wetting the pillow. She remembered her quiet village and the farm, where life was simple. She wished she could escape back into her father's arms. By the 4th year, her spirit was weak. But then one day her father sent her a message. My daughter, come home. The ancestors want to speak. Arya packed her bag with trembling hands. Hope and fear battled inside her heart as she prepared to return to the village that had once held all her joy. The road back to the village felt long for Arya. She sat quietly in the bus, staring out the window as trees and rivers passed by. Her heart was heavy with pain. Yet somewhere deep inside, a tiny flame of hope refused to die. Beside her sat her cousin Chioma, a lively young girl of 17 who was always ready to make jokes, even in serious moments. Chioma leaned close and whispered, Sister Arya, when we reach the village, you must eat Mom Ngozie's puff puff. If you taste it, you will forget your troubles. Arya smiled weakly. Chioma, even if I eat a mountain of puff puff, will it give me a child? Chioma pouted, then laughed suddenly. You never know. Maybe puff puff is the answer. You have tried hospitals and doctors. Why not puff puff? For the first time in weeks, Arya laughed softly. It was a thin laugh, but it carried warmth. When they finally reached the village, Okoro was waiting at the roadside. His beard had turned grayer and his hands rougher from farming, but his eyes still carried the same love. He embraced his daughter tightly, as though he would never let her go. "My child," he said, "do not cry anymore. The ancestors will not let your tears be wasted." That night, the three of them sat outside under the moonlight. The crickets sang, and the fireflies danced around them. Okoro's face was serious. "Tomorrow," he said, "we will visit Dibia Uchenna. He is old, but his spirit eyes still see far. He will tell us what the doctors cannot." The next morning, the journey to the seer's shrine was quiet. The shrine stood deep in the forest, surrounded by tall iroko trees. Cowrie shells hung from the branches, and a faint smell of burning herbs filled the air. Inside, Dibia Uchenna sat on a mat. His back was bent with age, his eyes cloudy, but his voice was sharp like a blade. He looked at Arya and spoke before she could even greet him. "You have been weeping. Your womb is tied, not by man, not by sickness, but by your own hand." Arya's heart pounded. "My own hand? What have I done?" The old man's voice was steady. "Years ago, when you were young, your anger controlled you. You buried a mother hen and her chick alive in the farm because they scattered your work. You thought it was nothing. But the spirits of life remember. You buried life in anger. And now life refuses to grow inside you." Arya gasped, her hands shaking. Memories rushed back. She had been 12, tired from working in the sun. The hen and chick had scratched at her yam mounds. In her anger, she caught them and buried them in the soil, ignoring their cries. She had laughed then, thinking it was a small act. Now tears streamed down her face. "Oh no, I was a child. I did not know." The seer shook his head. "The earth knows no child. The spirits know no excuse. What is done, but there is mercy. If you honor what you buried with anger, if you return life with dignity, your womb will open again." Arya fell to her knees. "Please tell me what I must do." Dibia Uchenna raised his staff. "You must return to the same land. You must cook food, dance, sing, and bury a hen and chick properly, as though you are burying human beings. Only then will the curse be broken." The air was heavy with silence. Chioma, always the talkative one, broke it suddenly. "So Sister Arya must dance with a chicken? I cannot wait to see that." Even Okoro chuckled softly, though the matter was serious. Arya wiped her tears and nodded. "I will do it. I will do whatever it takes." The next day, the whole village gathered. Word had spread like fire. Arya, the farmer's daughter who became a city wife, is doing a strange burial for chicken and chick. People came out curious. Some laughed, some shook their heads. Old women muttered, "This is how spirits work. What you do in secret will follow you until you make it right." Children danced around, singing mock songs about Arya and chickens. Arya wore a white wrapper and beads. Her face was serious yet calm. A live hen and chick were placed before her, with bowls of food prepared beside them. Drummers began to beat slowly. She raised her voice and sang, "Forgive me, mother hen, forgive me, little chick. I buried you with anger, I return you with peace. Forgive me, forgive me. Let life come back to me." Tears ran down her cheeks as she danced slowly around the hen and chick. The villagers clapped, some laughing at the strangeness, Others moved to silence. Chioma danced beside her, shaking her waist exaggeratedly and making faces to lighten the mood. Even the drummers laughed at Chioma's antics, but the ceremony continued. Finally, Arya dug a small grave with her own hands. She placed the hen and chick gently inside, covering them with soil while singing the last verse of her song. The drums grew louder, the women ululated, and the men nodded in approval. When it was done, Arya felt something leave her chest, as though a heavy stone had rolled away. For the first time in years she felt free. That night she slept deeply without dreams of sorrow. She returned to the city, carrying peace in her heart. Not even a month passed before she noticed changes in her body. Her strength wavered, her appetite grew strange, and her heart carried a secret joy. The doctor confirmed it. She was pregnant. When Ben heard the news, he fell to his knees and wept with happiness. "My love, you have given me the greatest gift. You are my treasure forever." Months later, Arya gave birth. Not to one child, not two, but 4 sets of twins, strong and healthy. The hospital staff gasped in wonder, calling it a miracle. The same family who had mocked her now rushed to her feet, begging for forgiveness. His mother cried and said, "Forgive me, my daughter. I was blind with wickedness. You are more than a blessing." Arya forgave them, her heart too full of joy to carry bitterness. The cries of her children filled the house, and laughter replaced sorrow. She and Ben raised their children with love, teaching them patience, kindness, and respect for life. Back in the village, her father Okoro danced with pride, telling anyone who would listen, "This is my daughter Arya, the one who fought sorrow and won." The villagers who once gossiped now used her story as a lesson for their children. Never bury life in anger, for anger plants a curse. But humility and respect can restore what is lost. Arya lived long, her life full of blessings, and her story remained on the lips of many generations. Question for you. Have you ever done something in anger, thinking it was small, only to realize later it had great consequences? Moral lesson. Every action we take carries a weight. Anger may seem sweet for a moment, but it plants seeds that can choke our future. Respect all forms of life, no matter how small, for what we give to the earth always returns to us. Patience, humility, and forgiveness open doors that anger and pride keep closed. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your loved ones. The end.